Good afternoon, thanks for joining us right here on Midday, Kentucky. Jean's back in the seat, waiting for Miss Lisa to come back.
No, Miss Katie. I'm already back.
Well,
yeah, I'm the one
sometimes
over
we
here.
don't realise you're here.
No, I know.
Well, I'm having a great time.
Are you, darling?
You are more than fun. And Kentucky, what a beautiful state. I'm
Isn't it
loving
great?
Lexington. It's just gorgeous. And as an animal lover, to see all the horses out
Are
in the
you
fields.
still talking about animals? Didn't you get
I
enough
can't
of them
stop.
yesterday on the
Never,
show?
never. I love them.
And then you told me, I said to you, did you want to hang around till Saturday because we are hosting Idol Lexington, and you said, no, I can't come back on Saturday. I'm hosting 2 benefits and it's all got to do with animals.
That's right. I'm hosting.
Oh, we don't need to go into detail.
Oh, okay.
You're so cute. I love her. She's coming back again. How are you, Lisa?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. We are great. We have been very busy here, so lots to get on with. So let's get on to the top of the topic that we wanted to talk about. And Jean, you tell me what you think about this as well. Manners maketh the man, or at least so goes the much quoted expression. But I read this Reddit thread yesterday and I thought even the most basic rules of polite behaviour are all too often overlooked. More than 1,500 users took to the online forum to respond when Reddit asked, what is a common breach of etiquette that annoys you? These are some of the ones that I chose, but first of all, what are some of the ones that annoy you the most, that people don't do? Or that people do, I should say.
I don't like when people continually interrupt. When you're trying to say something,
Yes.
and they interrupt you 1 zillion times.
Yes, they do. It's really irritating.
My husband does that a lot.
I thought you were going to say
me.
I thought you were hinting to me, Jean. But
No,
that's
you
the
don't,
purpose
but-
of the round table. Interruption.
Complete interruption.
Interruption, I agree.
This is a different forum.
Yeah, what else?
I don't like when people lick their fingers while they're eating. That drives me crazy. My mom, when I was young,
I could sort of agree with you.
Yeah.
on
my
that.
do
mother
too.
would slap our hands if we dared to put a finger in our mouth.
Yeah, I agree.
just don't like it.
What about you?
You know,
I haven't seen you lick your fingers.
No, not
No.
recently. No, you know, for me, I think the interrupting is something that really kind of bothers me too. And also when people are talking about themselves and never bother to ask the other person questions. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
I don't know.
It really bothers me.
Does it?
I think we're all guilty.
Is your mic on?
think I
Can
am
the
too.
audience hear you?
Yeah, they can hear me. So yeah, I'm kind of guilty of that. So, and I'm trying to correct it. It's been
Yeah.
pointed out to me,
Has
you know,
it?
at one point. Yeah.
Well, no one's ever
So
said to
really-
me that it's. I do understand where you're coming from, because when people make it all about them
Yes.
and don't ask about you, that is annoying.
Yeah.
So no one's ever said to me, I make it all about me. People do say that I interrupt, but it's either I'm ready to move on to the next conversation.
Oh, it's okay. We love you. We accept it.
Okay, well, here it is. People
Okay.
not saying please, thank you, or excuse me. I can't stand that when people don't say those 3 things.
Oh, yeah.
Agree?
Yeah.
It bothers me
Yeah,
also.
I agree. When you're with someone and run into a friend, the person does not know, don't let them stand there. It's
Oh.
polite to introduce them to each other. I have to be honest here, Jean, sometimes I forget who
Yes.
I'm running into.
You forget their name?
And I
Yes.
do that a lot. And so what we have to do is wait until they introduce themselves to each other. And there you are standing there and saying, oh my gosh, I forgot your name. Troy, I forgot your name. Or,
Yeah.
who?
Yeah, I hate that.
Patricia over there.
You know what I do? All my friends know that I am dreadful with names. I really am. And if I just met you once or twice, more than likely I'll probably forget your name. Not because I'm being rude, I just forget.
Yeah.
But my friends know, if I don't introduce you, introduce yourself
Yes.
first straight away, because then that helps me remember who they are.
Doug and I have
Yes,
a
that's a
pact with
great
each other.
idea.
That's
Oh,
what we do.
perfect.
It's a
Yeah.
pact.
Being aware of others around you, you're not standing in people's way on the sidewalk or grocery store, etc. I totally agree.
Yeah.
That's annoying when people
These
do
are
that.
great.
Using
But now people are on cell phones and they're texting and
They run into you.
They run into
well,
everybody.
Here's one for you, Jean. Using a cell phone in a theatre. Now,
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily talking on it, but you know when you slide to look at Facebook or something, or someone sent you a message, like this picture right here.
Yeah, it
it
lights up.
annoys me.
Yeah.
It totally annoys me.
It's
Let's
distracting.
move along to this next topic. And I thought this was really interesting, Jean. What have you got for me, my friend?
Yes, well, as parents, we all know what it's like to have our kids out and about, and we can't get in touch with them. But now there is a new app called Reply ASAP, which will actually freeze your child's phone. And developed by
What's
this...
the purpose of it?
Well, when you're out and your child puts his or her phone on silence and you can't reach your child because they can't hear the phone ring or they're not watching the text, this app will actually lock their screen and sound off an alarm.
And the kids ignore their parents, believe it or not.
Absolutely.
They're on there with their friends or they're playing a game, and they'll see that you sent them a message.
Oh, really?
They'll ignore it. They'll brush it aside and they'll keep going. And so I love this app. I think it's awesome.
So what you're saying is that the app that you put on their phone, but it's controlled by you.
Yes, that's my understanding. And once that alarm goes off, your child will be so embarrassed that they'll have to respond to you. I think it's a good app for my husband because he's got his phone on silence all the time and I can't reach him.
Doesn't he want to talk to you, Jean?
I don't know what he wants. Or maybe he's involved with business or something.
Well,
Nobody
he's making
loves
you
me
money.
very much.
Yeah, he's making you money so you can
Trying
swan around
anyway.
the country.
I think it's fantastic.
I actually think it's a good idea. Tell us on our Midday Kentucky Facebook page. Did you put this story
Yes,
up
I
there?
did.
And tell us what you do to make your kids call you back as well. And I don't think, Jean, that kids purposely not want to call you back. They're just
I'm not so
preoccupied.
sure.
Sometimes.
I remember my youngest daughter, she'd be out and it'd be past her curfew time, and I'd be calling her and calling her and calling her, and she just ignored me. This app would have been perfect.
Oh, I know. I can just see
Reply
it.
ASAP.
my
I'm sorry
kids-
it wasn't around back then. I'm sorry
You
for
know,
interrupting.
I'm sorry for interrupting you. We're
Yeah.
learning on this show. We really are. But no, my kids aren't at that level yet where we're doing the cell phone thing, but as far as me texting them or whatnot, but it's coming very soon, and I love this
Do
app.
they
I
have
love-
phones?
Yes, they do, but they use them for gaming.
So they have telephones, not phones that you can phone them?
I don't have the phone. I don't
Right.
have it
Yeah,
connected
that's what I'm thinking.
as
Yeah.
a line.
Okay,
so
I got you.
Yeah, so they use them for gaming right now,
Okay,
but until
all
they
right.
were old enough to actually get the phone.
This is something that I find really interesting that you're bringing up also. Oh no, this is my topic, is it? Talking about sexualization of children.
That's yours, that's
this
yours.
is mine. Hey, parents, would you allow your child to wear makeup, fake nails, and even a spray tan? These parents say her kid likes the attention. Is this okay? Now, parents who let their 4-year-old daughter wear fake tan makeup and false nails have hit out at claims she's been sexualized, saying she likes the attention. Mother and father, 26 and 35, of course, over from England, were on a morning TV show, and this is how the little one dresses. But you can see, like, that's just normal there, okay?
Right.
You can
Yes.
so it's more about the beauty pageants, Jean. And look, here's the thing. Is it too much for 4, 5, 6-year-olds to be wearing these sorts of things?
Well, I wouldn't have my daughters when they were younger in beauty pageants.
But she looks so cute. Look at the hair.
She is cute. I object to skimpy bikinis and things like that on a very young
Yeah.
child when they're out in public. I think too much attention is drawn to them. And let's face it, there are people out there, pedophiles and very bad people, and children have to be protected.
Yeah. No, I get you. What do you think?
Yeah, this is really disturbing, I guess, for me, and troubling, because I understand why parents want to do the pageants with their girls, and I think it's cute, and I think it's wonderful. I think it's a good, mother-daughter, mother-father-daughter type time. But at the same time, when you're trying to make them look like a 25-year-old beauty pageant queen, I have a problem with that. I really do. I want kids to look like kids. That 4-year-old was dressed like a 22-year-old.
Yeah, but here's the thing, ladies.
And that bothers me.
I want to say this, and I want to be open about it. This is what all the kids are doing who go to these beauty pageants.
But does it make it right?
I know, but that's the responsibility of the parents telling the pageant owners,
Right.
because they're not run necessarily just by an organisation. There's a lot of money to be made in these pageants. So it's the pageant owners that need to take a stand, not necessarily just the parents.
I agree. And one of the parents' arguments was that her child has more confidence as a result of the pageants.
Oh.
However, if the child loses, she may have less confidence.
Right,
so
right.
It's a two-edged sword here. And I also think that children have to be children. However, if this is a source of income for the family, well, maybe they should do this. And but I think when your child is out there like this, dressing up like an adult, you have to be extra careful of that child's security and well-being.
I think there's a point there, but Jean, I didn't even think about the money because they can earn a lot of money.
They can.
Yeah.
They
know?
also spend a lot of money too.
Well,
on all
okay,
this.
well, just look at Honey Boo Boo.
Yeah.
You know, like she was all dressed up like a meringue half the time, you know, and, you know, she loved it. And now she got a reality show, whether you like that or not, from pageants to reality TV to now her mother's got her own show as well.
Right.
There is a line of, you know, what you can make out of doing this. So, look, do I think a 4-year-old should be dressed up like a spring chicken and, you know, looking quite ridiculous? No. But I also don't think it's fair that people criticise the parents in a harsh way. If that's what the kids are wanting to do at beauty pageants, it looks like she's not walking around the streets like that.
Right.
It's
Correct.
definitely from beauty pageants.
Right, and they argue that these are closed pageants, which is
Gotcha.
fine.
Yeah.
I don't like children going into a tanning booth to look beautiful. I mean, a spray-on tan might be okay, but with hair extensions, false eyelashes,
It does
it's all a
become a bit
bit much,
crazy.
I think.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
you're right.
I agree.
Hey, now kids are all going back to school, everyone, and a lot of conversation is happening around contact sports.
Yeah.
And, you know, is it good or bad for young kids?
I
Lisa,
know.
what do you got for us, darling?
Well, you know, a new study has come out looking at the brains of these young athletes before, like pre-season, before they start
Oh.
the sport versus after the sport is done for the year. And what they're finding is that there is a significant difference in their brain structure and function. Not only the function of the brain after doing contact sports, but also the actual structure of the brain is changing as well. And that's what they have found. And this comes on the heel of a study that was published in Frontiers of Neurology. And what they were looking at, it was a study that they looked at deceased NFL players, football players, and found that 99% of them had shown that signs of chronic traumatic encephalopathy, and which
I'm
is
glad
called
you said that.
Yeah, I don't think I got that right, but it's called CTE, and it's some of the symptoms are memory loss, vertigo, depression, and dementia. So 99%.
Would you let
of
your
those-
kids play contact sport?
That's again another troubling topic because football is so, and football and hockey are the two contact sports that were mentioned in the study. But football, kids want to play football. And so how do we keep them safe? How do we keep
Hard to
them
stop them.
from having that type of contact
Yeah.
continuously to the brain throughout the day? I mean, when they looked at the brain structure, what they noticed was that the white fibers that connect the different portions of our brain had actually decreased. They were not connecting as well.
That's
and
scary.
It is, and that's what allows our brain to communicate throughout, communicate moving an arm versus feeling a sensation on your head.
Here's the interesting thing, Jean, is that especially with, like you see the football, American football, they have so much protection gear on. You know, why can't they protect themselves? Well, they hit
guess
them with
it's-
such force.
Yeah.
It's the impact, and I've read that so many football players end up getting early Alzheimer's and ALS, and that the incidence of these diseases is much higher in football players and anyone who's played a contact sport for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
It's something we're learning about now. We're learning a lot more, and it has to be studied more, and it is something we have to really think about, and we have to maybe work on ways to protect our children
Exactly.
and ways to protect our athletes,
agree.
because as Americans, football is, what would we do without football,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
Hey, tell us what you think. Head over to Midday Kentucky's Facebook page. I assume you posted this
Yes, I
story
did.
up there. Tell us what you feel about this study as well. Hey, everyone, stay tuned for some live music by Newtown. This is Midday Kentucky, everyone. Back after this short break.